What's up, everybody? Daniel Jeremiah, joined by Bucky Brooks. But let's talk some draft, man. You ready to go about the draft?
I see you're a little excited about the draft.
Look, we've talked about the Broncos and the Panthers forever. Now we got the other 30 teams that are going to jump in the mix here. We can start focusing on them getting better.
Absolutely. Talking about some of these pass catches. I'm ready.
All right, you talk about pass catch. Let's do it. Top 3 wide receivers in the 2016 NFL Draft. You're up first.
Josh Doctson from TCU is a guy that is going to be pretty much a difference maker in the National Football League. 6'3", 395 pounds. He is a guy that is a dominant red zone player. Here you see him winning a 50-50 ball, one-handed, putting his feet down. He is going to give you that red zone target that most teams like. Expands the strike zone with his ball skills and leaping ability. He is someone that is a nice complement to a passing game that already has a number 1. I believe Josh Doctson can be a star in this league. Look for him to make a lot of touchdowns at the next level.
Yeah, tall, lanky, athletic receiver on the edge. He comes in at number 3 for you, Bucky. How about a team that he fits with?
I'm going to go with the L.A. Rams. The L.A. Rams are a team. They have Tavon Austin there. Look, he is by fact, he's their number 1. Don't necessarily like that, but I think down in the red zone, you need a taller guy that you can go to. Josh Doctson is a guy that can be a playmaker.
You want a tall guy you can go to down in the red zone? I'm going to give you one. My number 3 overall receiver, I give you Michael Thomas. Look, he's got good genes, the relationship there to Keyshawn Johnson. Buck even kind of reminds me of Keyshawn, the way he runs and his style and gait there. I think he's an outstanding receiver, going to have a chance to be a big touchdown producer, as well as your guy, Josh Doctson.
Yeah, he definitely can be a big touchdown producer. He has all the tools that you look for, makes plays, is really a classic number 1 receiver. Watching him in L.A. at Taft High School, he's certainly grown up and become a dominant player.
I look for a fit for him. How about the Cleveland Browns? Hugh Jackson has mentioned the fact they got to get taller, got to get bigger. He came from Cincinnati, where he had all those tall tree wide receivers. Now he goes to Cleveland, got a bunch of little bushes, Bucky. They need a tree. I think Michael Thomas would be a good fit there.
Michael Thomas would be a great fit in Cleveland. They need someone that can be a difference maker, and especially if you get Josh Gordon back, you like to have that 1-2 punch on the outside.
All right, that's who we have at number 3. I think we share the same number 2, Bucky.
Yeah, LaQuan Treadwell. LaQuan Treadwell coming out of Ole Miss. I believe he is a prototypical number 1 receiver in most offenses. Big-bodied, great hands, solid. You worry about his ability to separate because he's not a burner. But in an offense where you have people that can stretch the zone and create open opportunities for him, he is going to be a guy that catches a lot of balls. Look for him to be a guy that does the dirty work in between the hashes and a pro-style system.
Yeah, he does the dirty work. He is tough. He is physical. You're not going to see him run away from a lot of people. You're going to see somebody on his hip almost at all times, but he fights for the football almost like an Anquan Bolden type. And I think that's the type of career he can have at the next level.
Yeah, Anquan Bolden, Brandon Marshall, physical playmaker, guy that can be a number 1 receiver. You have to build it around. That's why I believe the L.A. Rams would be a nice fit for him. Tavon Austin can do some of the things in the slide. You have other playmakers like Kenny Britt who can stretch the field. LaQuan Treadwell can be the anchor of that passing game. He can play X. You can build it around him and allow him to be the guy that's the focal point of the passing game.
Yeah, we're both thinking Southern California.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking the San Diego Chargers would be a good fit for him. Look, give Phillip Rivers a true number 1. Hasn't had that in quite some time. Needs some more weapons for him there to get that Charger offense rolling again. Buck, all right, we have the same number 1 guy as well.
Yeah, Coleman coming out of Baylor is my number 1 receiver. I know you like him as well. Speed receiver, outstanding catch and run artist. There you just see him running past coverage. He has become a guy that is a super difference maker. 7 games last season with multiple touchdowns. He understands how to get it done. And even though he hasn't been exposed to the full complement of routes at Baylor, in most systems, when you're really trying to get the ball short and quickly into the hands of your playmakers, he is a guy that can get it done. I think he makes plays when the plays are there to be made.
Hitch, slant, go. He does all of his damage on those 3 routes. That's really all he needs, Bucky. It is going to take some time for him to learn the nuances of all these different routes. But you talk about somebody that's explosive, that's dynamic, that can take the top off of a defense. That's why I have him as my number 1 wide receiver. Now, I am anxious to see just how big he is. We don't know that till we get to the combine. But he stands right now as our number 1 overall guy. And when I look for teams that could use a guy like Corey Coleman, a lot of teams. But the Philadelphia Eagles, somebody to take that top off the defense, stretch things out. Then you've got your tight ends you can work in. You've got Jordan Matthews in the middle of the field. I think Corey Coleman would be a great fit there.
Now, he would be a great fit. It would be the second year they go back in the draft possibly and maybe get him as a number 1 pick. But Doug Peterson understands that you have to have guys that can catch the ball and run after the catch. Huge in the West Coast offense. Because of that, I'm going to say that Chip Kelly would also like to have a Corey Coleman because the San Francisco 49ers desperately need more speed on the perimeter. Corey Coleman's the guy that can provide that and the big playability.
All right, that's just a little touch of our draft coverage here. We're going to have you covered all the way up to the draft, and keep an eye on Path to the Draft, our show on NFL Network. That's going to kick off March 1st, 6 Eastern, Monday through Friday. We've got you covered for all your NFL draft needs.